Hey FlossTube, what's up? It's Beth. Back to do a pretty quick video this time. I wanted to do the For Realz Tho Tag, which is by Adele over in UK. Hey Adele. Thought it was kind of a funny tag, and it's been interesting watching other people's responses, and so since it's kind of original and different, I wanted to do one myself. Before I get into the tag, I just wanted to share some really cool news that's not on the stitchy front, but it's to do with my work life. This morning when I got up, I was getting ready to go to work, getting dressed. I saw a penny lying on my bathroom floor that was heads up. Now, I don't know about any of you, but I totally believe in that superstition. Find a penny, pick it up, and all the day you'll have good luck. But I only do it if it's a heads up penny, and I prefer newer pennies, because I guess maybe the luck they have that came with them out of the mint hasn't been rubbed off yet. I don't know. It's a superstition, I know, it's silly, but I picked it up. And I didn't have anywhere to put it because I still wasn't dressed, so I tucked it in my bra, and then I totally forgot about it and went about my day. And I got a message from my manager when I arrived at work asking me to call her, and so I did, and she told me that they are giving me a raise. So it works, the penny works. I just got it, right? Yeah. Yeah, lucky penny, woohoo! Alright, anyway, so I'm putting that back. Day's not over yet, so it's going back in the... there we go. Okay, so on to the For Realz Tho tag. Let's start with question number 1. For Realz Tho, what level of stitcher are you? I would call myself advanced stitcher because I've been stitching for over 20 years. I've completed different kinds of projects too, not just cross stitch. I've done some Hardinger stuff. I've shown this before in a couple of other videos, but like this is an example of one of the different types of projects that I have tackled. So I think it's fair to say advanced, maybe not expert. I think there's people who are even way better stitchers than I am. Like I would consider anyone who can design, for sure, charts of their own. Somebody who is a model stitcher, somebody who enters their work in contests and does well in contests, if they even still have those anymore. They used to when I was starting out, but anyway, someone like that would be an expert stitcher. I'm not really quite at that level, but for sure advanced. Okay, second question though. For Realz though, how many whips and UFOs do you honestly have? And I just took a picture, actually, 'cause I like to do that every so often, of all my whips in progress. And I think right now I have 6 whips, and I've got a couple more UFOs. And the question also asks, this is supposed to include things that you've abandoned, and I have, I don't know, maybe 3 other projects that I have for now I have abandoned. I've got a big Hardinger. I think it could be a pillow or a wall hanging. I've got a Hardinger piece that I started on and didn't get to the cutting phase. I've got just a little small kit thing, little dimensions thing of a bunny rabbit on linen. The first thing I ever did on linen. I never finished that. And I've got, I know there's another one that I've sort of, a big, and I got it so long ago, it's another dimensions kit that was one of those that seemed like it'd be fun to do at the time, and then I lost interest really quickly, and it's sitting in my stash box. But I don't have a lot of whips and UFOs just because over the years I haven't had a lot of starts. I tend to either finish what I start, or for a long time I lost the stitchy bug and didn't work on anything and didn't buy anything, didn't start anything. So I'm kind of behind, for someone who's been stitching as long as I am. I'm really behind the curve as far as having a lot of whips and projects on the go. So kind of a boring answer, sorry. Question 3, for Realz Tho, are you enabled easily? I'd say actually no, not that easily, not right now, because my stitchy bug came back, and watching FlossTube videos is helping tremendously with my motivation, for sure. I stitch pretty much every day now, for several months. If I go even a day without stitching, it just feels wrong now. Like I'm really missing a big part of the day. So FlossTube has helped me get real motivated, but I've seen lots of other people doing projects that I would certainly like to pick up, but I haven't gone out and bought anything yet. I want to get the couple of whips that I have now, particularly Twin Mermaids by Mirabilia. I want to get that done and out of the way and framed, and a few other things that I have unframed. I want to get those knocked out, and then I'll look at the getting some more stash and doing a few more starts and influenced by things I've seen on YouTube, so FlossTube. So right now I'd say I'm about 3 out of 4, 3 or 4 out of 10 as far as being enabled. Let's see, question 4. For Realz Tho, do you suffer from Stitcher's attention deficit disorder? Sad. Where I guess that means you can't finish one thing. You're always jumping around from project to project, and it comes and it goes. And I've mentioned in other videos that if I have something to work on, like Twin Mermaids, that I have a due date for, I have a recipient for it, then I'm good about staying on it every day until it's done and framed. So sad isn't bad for me. Let's see, question 5. For Realz Tho, have you ever finished a full coverage project? Something like a Haid or this Tilton. I actually have never even heard of the Tilton people, but no, I've never done a full coverage project. I've done some projects that did have a lot of heavy areas of coverage, but not the whole thing. Really, my answer for that would be no, just because I've never started a full coverage project, therefore I certainly couldn't finish it. And question 6, for Realz Tho, do you enjoy confetti? Nah, I think that's more of a thing that affects the full coverage folks, the confetti stitches. And the projects that I work on don't have a whole lot of that. So I'm almost the opposite. Maybe I wouldn't mind having some confetti from time to time, just because a lot of what I do involves big blocks of one color, and that can get old after a while. So I might enjoy confetti. Let's see, question 7. How many finishes do you have this year so far? And does your answer compare to the number in question number 2? And so far this year I have 3 finishes. I've got a Country Cottage Needleworks, September Cottage, and I've got, I think this is also Country Cottage. I've got the little Snowy Woods scene, Snowy Cottage, and I've got the Santa's Village, the train. I started and finished all 3 of those since the 1st of January in 2016. So I actually feel really great about that number. And oh, I'm sorry, that's actually the next question. How does it compare to the number in number 2? Honestly, because these were little projects and I stitched them up so fast, I didn't even add them to my whip count, really. I just sort of like, oh, because they took less than a week, so I just kind of banged them out. So they don't really compare at all with the number in question number 2. Honestly, so far my whip number that from last year is still around the same. I even added to it with the Mirabilia Twin Mermaids thing, but question 8, we'll go on into that one. For Realz Tho, are you bothered by the answer in the last question? That I have 3 finishes, but they didn't really take away from my whips because I didn't include them in the first place. Nah, that doesn't bother me too much because I don't have that many whips right now. So if the answer is still the same in October and I haven't finished anything, then I'll be a little more bothered. But for now, so far so good. So let's see, question 9. For Realz Tho, do you have any embarrassing, dirty little stitching secrets? Oh gosh, don't we all? I guess my 2 secrets would be, one is literally, I guess, a dirty little secret. I don't wash my projects when I'm done with them. And I know for some people that might sound really horrifying and disgusting, but the way I stitch, the way my projects are set up on the scroll frame, on the scroll bars that I have, the lock scrolls, they really are designed to keep your hands off of the fabric, especially the working side of the fabric. And even when I'm flipping the frame over to start a new thread or end a thread, you don't have to touch the fabric at all. And of course, I'm very good about washing my hands, and I don't eat ever. No food comes. This is my stitching room. No food is allowed past that door, ever. So I'm very careful, very clean, and of course, pets and all that stay off of it. Don't have children, so I've never seen the need to wash my projects. They come out really clean. I've never had a framer comment about it and say, "Ooh, you should have." I've had to iron a couple of pieces because they were linen and they just ended up really pieces that I did more in hand as opposed to putting on the frame. But no, I mean I still have pieces around that I framed almost 20 years ago and they look great. So I don't wash. That's my first secret. And I guess my other dirty little stitchy secret kind of dovetails in with the last question, which is show us your messiest back. And to be honest, I don't have messy backs. Like, this is the back of September Cottage. It's pretty neat. There's a reason for that. I am a thread skimper. Ooh, it's my other dirty little secret. I don't, when I'm stitching, a lot of times, like if I finish a row and I'm going to go down to the next row, ideally you're finishing at the top of the, square, and so you're bringing your thread down really 2 rows to start at the bottom of the row below. But sometimes I won't go the whole 2 squares. I'll start in the top. I'll start, kind of wherever, just to, mainly because it takes time to, change out threads and, rethread, and I need a thread valet. That's what I need. I need somebody to cut and manage all my threads for me and have them all. Wouldn't that be great? Someone to pull your thread. Oh man, there you go. That's my dream. I'll be an expert stitcher the day I get a thread valet to manage my threads for me. Okay, anyway, so that's why I don't have really messy backs, is because I try not to use up a whole lot of thread as I'm stitching, and I don't carry thread more than a couple of maybe 2 or 3 spots. Again, just personal preference. I certainly don't judge. I mean, use all the thread you want. There are people I know I've seen in the past on message boards, like back in the day, in the early days of the internet, people who would say, oh, the more thread you carry on the back, actually the better. It means your project has all this thread reinforcing the back and it'll last just that much longer. And maybe they're right and they have a point, but I feel like the modern framing techniques and the thread that we use, the fabric, it's gonna last a good long time anyway. And having that extra bit on the thread on the back, will it give it another 100 years or something? Hey, but I'm long gone by then anyway. I don't care. So those are my dirty little stitchy secrets. And yeah, don't have any messy back confessions either. I mean, here's the train, here's the village. Yep, it's pretty neat backs, but again, it's not something I lord up over with other stitchers, because I know that it does come at the expense of that, that extra thread on the back. So In the very, very long run, they'll probably be, you know, you messy back people will probably prevail over us super neat thread skimpers, so who knows. Anyway, that's pretty much it for me. I don't have any whips right now to show. Made a little progress on Twin Mermaids, not enough really at this point to, you know, to put on camera. So I'll go ahead and sign off, and once again thank everybody for watching, subscribing. The next video I do will be more of an update video, and I will also talk about the giveaway. I've gotten a little advice on how to do a successful giveaway on FlossTube, so I still want to do that. So I will put together the stuff for the giveaway, and in the next update video that I do for my whips, I will have those. Otherwise, I am going up to Lancaster County in Pennsylvania at the end of this month, and I will definitely be going by my L&S up there, the shop called Hodgepodge, which is in Strasburg, Pennsylvania. So maybe I'll have some haul. I don't know. It depends on how, honestly, it depends on how far I've gotten with Twin Mermaids. But if anybody is up in the Lancaster area, or at least within a reasonable drive, and you'd like to meet up, or, you know, go to the shop, or get together some evening and have a stitch and bitch, I'm actually going to be there from March 25th until I think the 30th, the morning of the 30th. So I'll be there for a few days, and it'd be great to be able to meet other floss tubers up there if possible. So that's it from me. So thanks once again, and I hope you all are having a wonderful week and have a great stitchy weekend, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!